Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. And it is a Thursday night, Thanksgiving 2020. It's been a long year, it's been a tough year. I hope everybody has been able to find some solace and some quiet time today and enjoy the holiday as much as possible. It is now evening, and before I turn it in, because I got to work tomorrow, I'm out in the garage. I've been running N-scale trains today, just kind of sitting back, having a cup of coffee and watching them run, which is the reason why I built the N-scale layout, so that I could do just that. Make up some trains, have them in my little staging yard right there in the front, and run and just have fun watching. The HO scale is where I do my switching and my version of operation. I do not have a card system or anything yet, but I will in the future here. That's something I'm going to maybe look at for Christmas. But I've been out tonight and doing a little work on the HO scale. So on the N scale, just recently I did a bunch of chalking on the tracks. So here is what an unchalked, unweathered track looks like on my HO scale layout. And using the same techniques, here is what a weathered track looks like on my HO scaled layout. Same chalks, same everything that I've been using over on the N scale. I just did a test piece here, and I think it actually looks pretty good. So you know what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, just off and on as I'm doing projects on the N scale, I'm going to be starting to weather the track on the HO scale layout exactly the same way. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start to work my way through the industrial area and the tracks that are on this side, and just see where I can go. I do not have enough chalk. I'm going to have to order some more. I used most of the orangish red color over on the N scale. But that's going to be the next project that I'm going to be tackling, at least on the HO scale. I'm still going to be doing a lot of stuff on the N scale, but this will fill some time when I just want to relax. Well, it is Friday evening, and I'm doing a little bit more weathering of track on the HO scale layout. You can kind of see I did that little piece over there last night under the Wrath Blackhawk ham car. Started tonight doing a little bit on this line, and it's pretty easy to see. The tops of the track are already wiped down. So the chalking really brings out detail, and I'm really happy that I put in a dark ballast. Because that little bit of chalk, and I'm talking a real little bit, just goes on and it makes it look good. Now I do have shades of gray that I'm going to do the same effect to kind of come back in and dab at the railroad ties in different areas to kind of set them apart. But you know, just a little bit of chalk goes a long way. You can see how on the left I have not gotten to that area yet. I've got up to the switch but not across. And this is looking pretty good. I'm going to enjoy doing this weekend. I'll give some updates as I go. But I'm happy with these results over here as well. And I'm going to clean the track the same way. I have a Woodland Scenics track cleaning tool that has like 2 pads on it. I will use the pads. All I'm doing is cleaning the top of the rail. Everything else was painted railroad tie brown before I put the ballast in. And the sides hold a little bit of that chalk, so all I got to do is clean the top of the rails and I'm good to go. Anyway, more to come as I get more of this done. Well, early Saturday afternoon, and I've spent about an hour doing more chalk dusting on the HO scale layout. So I've gotten more of the sidings done. I have come back in and I have, in addition to wiping down, I've used the Woodland Scenics track tool with Track Magic to get any chalk dust off the tops of the rails, and that's working out effectively. But you can see how those chalks look. And then you can see where I've left off. I've done the diamonds, but I've not done anything on the other side yet. Still haven't done my triple switch. I will get to that here after a while. I'm going to do this side of the 4x8 section. You know, my layout is modular. It comes apart. I'm going to get to the middle on this piece, and then I'm going to jump and then start doing the other side over by the coal yard, the main lines, the sidings that go into the other side of the old factory complex. Should keep me busy, so I will see where I end up before the end of the day. I'm guessing I will at least get this piece done. And then maybe a start over there. The main lines have the brownish color ballast, similar to the N scale. So I'm going to do those, but I just don't know that we're going to see a whole lot. Maybe a little bit of rust, a hint of it, just from because of the color. But we'll see when I get there. I'm having fun. It's a nice way to spend a weekend after Thanksgiving. So just a quick demonstration of my technique for this, similar to the N scale layout. Nice short, soft bristle brush, palette of various shades of shaved chalk. I use chalk sticks, and then I use excuse me, an X-Acto knife to kind of scrape off sort of creams, reds, browns, a little bit of bluish black. And then as I apply it, I just mix it. This brush will not load with very much. It's going to load with just a little bit. So it's a blend of colors, a little bit here, a little bit here. And then I just sort of dab it on, pull it a little ways. And it is just, maybe each time I load the brush, I can go about 2 or 3 inches lightly. Mix up the colors a little bit and just kind of work my way down. But you can already see it gives it a subtle shade difference. And then I work the brush in. So I know some guys had asked, if I worry about getting chalk dust up into the motors and the equipment. And the answer is no. Once you put it on like this and you really rub it in, it's not going to go anywhere. It is pretty well in place. It can come off, if you rub it with like track cleaner or other things like that, yeah, it's going to come off. You're going to have issues with it sticking if you're doing that. But if it's just normal wear and tear, and if when you clean your track, you're just cleaning the top of it using, a pad. I've got the one from Woodland Scenics, the little pads on a stick, so that I can get into where I want to get into. Those are not going to hurt anything, and you're not going to be taking the chalk dust up. You can get into switches, you can get in very, very close, do very detailed work. You kind of tap the brush in a little bit to kind of get your bristles loaded up a little bit with this. Again, it doesn't take much. And you can see it's not a lot going on. So once I get far enough along where I'm happy with what I'm seeing as far as overall color, what I do then is I come back and I highlight some of the individual ties. And this is where I get sort of the more brownish reds. And I can come in and and you can't do too many at a time, you just do a few. Browns, and then back and forth. Some of it's going to stick on it, some of it's going to get into the ballast, but you're going to have ties that are going to stand out as slightly different colors. So that's a short one on this side. So you can kind of see how I've gotten over in this area. I've got the halfway point done. Colors are in. You can see where it's obvious where I've chalked the tracks. They blend in even more so into the surroundings. So I like how it's looking. So I'm going to continue on and see what I can get done. Still Saturday evening. guessing by Sunday evening I should have the vast majority of at least the first section of my HO scale layout done. We'll see. So about to wrap it up for Saturday night. Been out, it's probably been about an hour, maybe an hour and a half doing some of the chalking. So you can see where I'm at on this side. And you can see a very slight variation in color on the brown ballasted tracks, but obviously it stands out a lot better on the darker color. So I've got it up to where my switch diverges in the center. You can see it's weathered onto the right, going forward from it, not the switches on the brown ballast up to that first set of switches. I've got weathering done. Again, you can see some subtle shade differences. The track here, which goes up to the coal yard, you can see where I left off up there past the little pine trees on the left. So, you know, it's looking okay. I'm getting a lot done. The results look pretty good. What I'm going to do is do more tomorrow, and I will clean this module up completely. I've got most of this side cleaned up. I've got to do the other, and then I'm going to run some trains on the HO scale before the end of this video. So end scale sitting over there. It's not lonely. I've been running trains today. Well, it is now Sunday evening. And I've gotten the weathering done on one of the 4x8 pieces of my switching layout. So I'm about ready to run some trains, but I'll give you a quick overview of just how it looks. The chalks made a nice difference. So it looks like my track has been there for a while, and I do have it cleaned. So I've just spent about the last hour going through and doing a paper towel wipe first to get the chalks off of the top of the rail, and then coming back in and using the Woodland Scenics track tool with the white pads and some Track Magic to top coat everything. But you can kind of see just how that looks on this, and then coming up to my center divide, can definitely tell the difference. Left, unweathered, right, weathered. Even on the brown ballast, you can see a bit of a difference on there. So I'm happy. I think the results turned out pretty good. Next thing is to run some trains on the HO scale. That'll be the last segment for this video.